Hello everyone, hope you're all having a lovely day today. I'm so sorry that I didn't upload yesterday. I've been trying to upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday and like keep that schedule, and then yesterday that just didn't happen. So I'm so sorry about that, but I am uploading today, and I think I will also be uploading tomorrow. But I don't want to say yes, I definitely will, and then not, but I should be able to. But today I wanted to talk about a topic that I think touches all of us, definitely in some way, shape, or form, and that is when God won't take away your, struggle, or when you see other people being healed from something that you're going through and you are still not, all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I know it can be very discouraging when you see other people being healed of their illnesses or their struggles, and you're like, why am I still, why hasn't God done that for me yet? And I know especially, this isn't just restricted to mental illness, but I know especially for people with mental illness, when they see other people like, God cured me of my anxiety or my OCD, I do not doubt that that can happen, but that doesn't mean that, therefore, because it happened to one person, that God is going to then heal every single person with mental illness or cancer or any type of ailment ever. Because if that were the case, then no one would ever be sick at all. So if we look in 2 Corinthians 12, specifically starting at 7, we see, "And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet, I still don't know how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry, Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart me." So he asked God for this thorn. I don't know exactly what he's referring to, but whatever. The thorn, I'm assuming, is some sort of ailment, and he basically asked God for it to be taken away from him 3 times. And he said unto me, if we continue on, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." So essentially what Paul is saying is that he has a thorn in his flesh. I don't know if he means a literal thorn or some other type of, like I said, ailment. And he's like, God, please let this be gone. I don't want it. 3 times. And God still is like, you're gonna have it. My grace is sufficient for you. You're gonna have it. That was very informal. I'm so sorry. "And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." And so basically what he's saying is and then Paul says, through his infirmities and his, struggles, this thorn in his flesh, that's not changing his standing with God or anything like that. God's grace is sufficient for him through his struggles. I think this is something that we need to all kind of remember, or maybe look back to whenever we are feeling discouraged, when we see other people being healed and we're not healed. I think there are plenty of examples or occasions in which we are better off than other people around us. For all we know, there might be other people being like, oh, I wish I were like them, referring to yourself, being like, oh wow, if only I didn't have as many struggles as them, or if only I, was healed like they are, or going through a season like as good as them. And so even if we're struggling through something, or we're going through something and God's not taking it away, he has a purpose for not healing us of it, if that makes sense. So I know that there are some people who are like, oh, just ask God to, take it away, or pray about it, or God can heal you of absolutely anything. Well, yeah, he can, but does that mean he's going to? Not necessarily, as we see right here. And it doesn't mean that God doesn't care, or that he wants us to suffer, but rather through our suffering, we learn new things. And it also helps us to realize that we aren't, to not, think too highly of ourselves. As we see in 7, it says, "Lest I should be exalted above measure." Sometimes things like this humble us, so that we're not thinking too highly of ourselves, because we have nothing to boast in. So I hope this video could be of some comfort to some people. I know how hard it is to be going through something, to be struggling, but again, like it says in James, we should count it all joy whenever we encounter trials of various kinds. Suffering produces steadfastness, and whenever we're going through something, God is always going to get the glory, and I do believe that he has a reason behind it. So if you like this video, give it a like and hit the subscribe button. If you ever have any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, do not hesitate to leave me a comment down below or shoot me an email. And as always, have a lovely rest of your day, and God bless.